Łódź, the family service centre. This is where the Centre for the Integration of Foreigners is located. Originally, it helped refugees from Ukraine fleeing the war. Now the city is preparing a new scenario. The centre is to be expanded and its activities and operations are to be continued, but focused on newcomers from the Middle East, illegal immigrants from Africa, whom the German authorities are sending here en masse. This warning comes from Piotr Cieplucha, formerly Deputy Governor of Łódź and currently a member of the Border Defence Movement. He notes that a home for single mothers operates in the vicinity of the integration centre. I wonder how the situation will develop here in the future, when on the one hand we will have single mothers with children in difficult life situations in one building, and on the other hand exotic doctors and engineers will be staying right next door. This recording caused a storm in the institution subordinate to Łódź Mayor Hanna Zdanowska of the Civic Platform. According to a parliamentary audit conducted a few months ago by MP Agnieszka Wojciechowska van Hejokelom at the Łódź Social Welfare Centre, these institutions are quite sparing in informing the public about their activities towards foreigners. Please, first of all, a list of the number of people from third countries served by the Municipal Social Welfare Centre in Łódź each year in the last 5 years, with an indication of which countries they came from. I don't think I can give you that. I have access to classified information. You're out of luck. We will definitely not present these documents. We will definitely not send them. Why not? Because we will not generate costs. Now the Family Service Centre argues that immigrants deserve the same care as single mothers. Exotic doctors and engineers, language that divides. Such terms dehumanise and perpetuate the fear of people from other cultures. Fueling fear and pitting the residents of the single mother's home run by the Antonian sisters against migrants is particularly hurtful and irresponsible. Is that so? The experience of other European countries suggests the opposite. As the number of culturally foreign foreigners increases, crime also tends to rise, with women very often being the victims. In Germany, between 2017 and 2021, immigrants from Afghanistan and Pakistan committed 16 times more rapes than German men, and immigrants from Africa committed 11 times more. In Italy, between 2018 and 2021, immigrants from Afghanistan and Pakistan committed 15 times more sexual crimes than Italians. Immigrants from North Africa committed 14 times more, and immigrants from the rest of Africa 12 times more. Hence the protests against mass illegal immigration, such as the one in London. The problem is that despite the increasingly strong opposition of European nations, left-wing liberal politicians continue to push the multicultural model. This is also the case in Poland. Next year, the Migration Pact will come into force, blocked by the Law and Justice government, but adopted by the European Commission a few days after Donald Tusk and his coalition took power on the 13th of December 2023. What should be done about the Migration Pact? Well, there is a problem here, but I have always said that if we do not want to accept migrants, we should help those who do. We can afford to contribute money to the common budget so that France, Spain and Italy can be relieved of the burden of supporting them. However, most Poles oppose mass immigration and demand that the Migration Pact be terminated. Hence the collection of signatures for a migration referendum organised by Law and Justice. Here in Gowolin, a few days ago, residents were shocked by the news of Afghans who were first placed in a nearby emergency shelter with their small children and then escaped from it. Gowolin County is a place where women, children and young people can move around safely without any special concerns. And we want it to stay that way, hence our initiative and our action. The Ordo Iuris Institute is also calling for a halt to mass immigration. Anyone might sign a petition addressed to Donald Tusk at www.niedliamigracji.pl. Public reaction is important. The protests that are taking place are important, as are the citizens' draft resolutions that have been submitted to local authorities. But it is also important to hold each other accountable and to exert constant pressure on the government. This pressure makes sense and is already yielding tangible results. The Border Defence Movement patrols, so heavily criticised by the government, have effectively prevented Germany from bringing unwanted illegal immigrants to Poland. That is roughly 240 people deported from Germany this month. This is a decrease of well over 80%. We remember last year what the numbers looked like in these summer months. Over 1,000 people were expelled per month. Now it's falling to 240 to 250 people. It's amazing. It's our success. The controls are working. It's amazing. It's working. On the 6th of September, a large march against the migration policy of Donald Tusk's government will take place on the streets of Warsaw. It will start at 1 p.m. in front of the European Commission offices.